Hi guys, Tablet-News.com, and I'm here with the Allview Viva Q8. This is a brand new Romanian tablet from the Viva brand. It was launched in July 2013, and as I said, it's part of a new series called the Allview Viva. Up until now, the tablets we reviewed from the company Allview were part of the Alldraw series of slates, and this one is a brand new device. As you can see, it tends to resemble the iPad mini quite a bit, especially from the front side, and we're dealing with a quad-core 7.9-inch slate. The price tag of this model is $240, so it's an affordable quad-core tablet with an iPad mini style design. As far as the design goes, the tablet is 7.5mm thick, so it's pretty slim. It weighs 357 grams, so it's reasonably light, and we've got a bunch of dual speakers right here at the bottom, so to say bottom if you keep the tablet in portrait mode. And we got an ultra slim case with an aluminum backside. There are no volume buttons on either side, so we have to rely on the virtual volume buttons that you're going to see immediately. So we got this lower volume and upper volume button included in the interface of the device. Okay, now let's have a bit of a rundown of the ports, slots, camera and all that of the device. We have a front camera right here, back camera right here in the corner, and then comes this side filled with buttons and ports. We have the on-off button here, the home button here, and then comes the micro USB port, the HDMI port, a microphone hole and the audio jack. On the side there is the micro SD card slot, and that's pretty much it. Once again, speakers, dual speakers right here. By the way, this is a micro HDMI port in case you're wondering. Other stuff worth mentioning is that the device has a good grip. It sits well in the user's hand, it's not slippery, and it's very easy to hold with one hand if you want to do some e-reading or stuff like that. If you even want to check your Twitter status or simply browse around, look for apps, you can easily hold the device with a single hand. Okay, other stuff worth mentioning is the hardware, so we're going to move into the hardware area right now. We're dealing on this tablet with a IPS LCD screen with a diagonal of 7.9 inches and a resolution of 1024 over 768 pixels in a 4:3 format. Inside there is a Cortex A7 quad-core 1GHz CPU, and the GPU is a PowerVR SGX 544 MP2. This one is an 8-core GPU. We also get 8GB of internal storage, microSD card slot supporting up to 32GB of extra storage, and this product is available in black or white depending on your preferences. And I should probably mention that the device comes with a G sensor, and there is no GPS, there is no Bluetooth, but we have Wi-Fi. The front camera is a 0.3 megapixel unit. The back camera is a 5 megapixel unit. That's actually pretty good. Also inside the Allview Viva Q8 we find 1 gig of DDR3 RAM, and the CPU here, well, its identity is the Allwinner A31S. So that's the processor, in case you're wondering. It's not a Rockchip, it's not MediaTek, it's simply Allwinner. Okay, now as far as the battery goes, I'm going to resort to the gallery for a screenshot or two. I have to say that the battery is quite good. It's a lithium polymer unit with a capacity of 4000 mAh and 3.7 volts. Well, in our tests we got about 5 hours of gaming. We played Galaxy on Fire 2. You can see here the battery usage. After playing 30 minutes of the game, we lost 10% of the battery. It can deal with 5 hours of gaming, and you can get about 4 hours of playback by using 60% of the battery. I mean here video playback with the Wi-Fi off. It's pretty impressive, but once again the Wi-Fi is off, so maybe if you turn it on you lose more battery. So as you can see, 48% left after playing video for 3 hours and 50 minutes with the 4K player, once again without Wi-Fi. Pretty impressive battery for such a small tablet, such a small price tag of $240. Okay, so now it's time to test the audio quality of the device. I'm going to use just a little bit of chill out dubstep, maximum volume, speakers here, Okay, so as you probably heard, the volume is not so loud, but the bass is decent. We have zero vibration, zero distortion, which is good. The speakers are stereo, and there is a slightly muffled sound, if I can call it that way, and I was expecting much more volume from this tablet. I also regret the lack of physical volume buttons, and sadly, if you want to play music on SoundCloud, as I did, it won't work, which is kind of sad. So if I want to play a tune, I'll get a message saying that it will not play back, at least for Samsung. As you can see, there was a playback error, so sadly no SoundCloud for you this time. Now we're going to talk just a little bit about the video aspect. So we have here an IPS LCD screen with a diagonal of 7.9 inches on this device, and the resolution is 1024 over 768. We got a 4:3 format. And let me enter the mail and show you some of the aspects related to this device. Okay, so we did some testing, we used a microscope, we analyzed the device, and this is what its pixel look like when zoomed in. So we used the microscope and figured this out. Its pixels on white and black. I have to say that the screen offers you 370 lux units on white, and it beats the Galaxy S4 that offers you 250 lux units, so actually pretty good. The pixels available here are in the RGB stripe arrangement, and you can also play with the settings in the display area. There are a couple of special settings. Okay, so here we have display, we got smart color, that's better for playing games, video and picture, and intelligent backlight. These will optimize the brightness and the color for a more efficient consumption. Okay, now I'm going to actually play some video for you, since I guess you actually want to see how the screen works. I'm going to use the 4K video player and the classic benchmark Rabbit video. We've got good natural colors, wide viewing angles. So let's try to turn the image. As I said, wide viewing angles, no problem here. After all, it's an IPS. I like the fact that the colors are natural, they're not oversaturated, so no problem here. This is a very good screen, so I don't have any complaints about it. Right now we're at 50% of the screen brightness, and I have to say I'm happy with that. With 50% alone, we're doing just fine. By the way, this 4K video player that's available on the device, bundled with it, also gives you an option that's sort of like pop-up play. The pop-up play that you know from the Galaxy S4 that I mentioned earlier. And that's pretty much it on the video side. Okay, now as far as the camera is concerned, we're dealing here with a 5 megapixel shooter. I'm going to use this little toy and snap a picture of it. I have to say that the camera is actually pretty impressive. The shutter speed is quite decent, and this is what the picture looks like. As you can see, the last one was moved, but the previous ones were not bad at all, seeing how these are indoor pictures and we don't have a flash. And other stuff we're mentioning about the camera, well, we got the 5 megapixel sensor with autofocus available, and the sensor is an OV5647, probably made by OmniVision. We also can do full HD 30 frames per second video capture. As you can see, you can go to 1080p. We got automatic control for the exposure, which is once again a good thing. There's an option called Fast Snap that will allow you to take 10 pictures in 1 second. You can also take photos while filming. We have panorama mode. We have a bunch of effects to play with, like autofix, cross process. We got low-mo available, black and white, negative, and a bunch of other effects to apply to your shots. In the settings area, you can tweak a lot of stuff like exposure, white balance, fixed time, picture size, set the position, face detection, store location, grid, and much more. In the video area, you can also customize stuff. Once again, exposure, store location, time-lapse interval, and some white balance options available as well. It actually focuses pretty fast, this slate, so I have to say that on the camera side I was reasonably impressed. What else I can say? It's surprisingly good for a budget tablet of $240. So these are the pictures taken earlier, And that's pretty much it concerning the camera. Moving further, now I'm going to talk a bit about the operating system. It's Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. Here we go. You can see it here, Android 4.2.2 Jelly Bean. By the way, speaking of the camera earlier, you should see some samples in our text review coming soon. And once again, back to the email where I can show you some more data. You should know that this tablet has a maximum temperature of 35.8 degrees, and that temperature is achieved after 15 minutes of gaming the game Crazy Taxi. And other two mentions is the fact that Chrome will not work on this device for some reason, and Google Music will also not work together with SoundCloud. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the benchmarks here. We have screenshots available for you, a lot of them. We did all the regular benchmarks. I decided to compare this model with the Asus MemoPad HD7, also quad-core tablet, also pretty cheap, and the Acer Iconia A1, also quad-core, also pretty cheap. Okay, so in quadrant we scored 2,626 points, got beaten by the Asus MemoPad and Acer Iconia by about 1,300 points, so that's quite a lot. I find it hard to believe that the score is so low. I think there's a bug here. And here we go. In Antutu we scored a more decent 12,193 points. We almost got we actually got beaten by the Asus MemoPad HD7 by 300 points, so not that big of a difference, and by the Acer Iconia by 200 points, so pretty close to the MediaTek tablets. Here we scored an impressive result, probably because of the low resolution, 61.1 frames per second. The other tablets, the Asus one scored 46 frames and the Acer 51 frames. In Velamo, decent result, 1285 points here. Got beaten by the Asus MemoPad with its 1476 points, and we're very close to the Acer Iconia A1 with its 1300 points. In 3D Mark, probably the most relevant benchmark, quite of a surprise, 4,915 points. We beat both the Acer and the Asus tablet, so that's a very impressive performance. Finally, in the browser test, a slight disappointment, 1,608 points, got beaten by the Asus tablet by 500 points. Once again, those are all quad-core tablets. Those two, the Acer and the Asus, use MediaTek CPUs, while this one uses an Allwinner processor. Okay, this tablet also uses a quick boot method, so the system will boot in quick boot mode next time. I press OK, I power up the device, and when I'm going to power it back on, it will quickly start again. So here we go. Nice to have this feature. So we're already in the home screen thanks to the quick boot. Pretty nice feature. Okay, now let's check out the web browser. Comfortable keyboard on this 7.9-inch format, accessing tablet news. We can already figure out that the browser is kind of slow because of the browser mark result. Okay, Tablet-News.com. Nope, not this one. Okay, this is our site, Tablet-News.com. Loaded reasonably fast in spite of the browser mark result. Scrolling around, pinch to zoom, so no problems when it comes to interaction with the websites on this slate. As far as the software experience goes and the operating system, the folks of Allview haven't customized it too much, so it's pretty much standard Android 4.2.2. We got this dual swipe thing going on here. Swipe in this area for the settings and some toggles, swipe in this area for notifications. For example, Asus decided to customize its swiping areas with a single drop-down menu instead of two, which I find to be quite good. And on this tablet we can also find an area with developer options. Some of them that are useful for games. From what I read on some websites, enabling certain OpenGL features will actually make the games run faster and work better. Okay, aside from that, you know the drill. We got multitasking like this with swiping. We got your lock screen widgets. Since this is Android 4.2 after all, you can add your widgets right here to make the experience more comfortable. And the bundled apps on this device include, aside from the 4K player, that's actually pretty cool, we got Bitdefender Mobile Security. You probably know the fact that Allview includes this on its product, and it's pretty useful if you want to stay protected from viruses and stuff like that. We also have Office Suite. Here it is, should be here somewhere. Here we go. This is Office Suite that you're going to use for your productivity needs. And register later. You can also open up your doc files, your XLS files, PowerPoint and PDFs. Okay, and finally, if you're wondering if a $240 tablet can play a 2013 game, here we go. We got Riptide GP2 installed here. This game was launched about 2 weeks ago, so it's as fresh as they come. It's a new game, fresh game, and it runs well on this quad-core Allwinner tablet. While we're going to play the game, I'm also going to list you the pros and cons for buying or not buying this tablet. Okay, so the pros are the nice design, obviously, the pretty nice screen, I have to say, in both brightness, natural colors, viewing angles. The gaming experience is okay, as you're going to see. The fact that we have Android 4.2 is a plus. Quick boot is also a plus, there is no lag here. The camera is actually a pretty nice surprise. The price is okay at $240, and the battery is pretty good. As I said, 5 hours of gaming, I find that to be enough. Now on the con side, we have disappointing audio. We don't have any volume buttons, physical ones of course, and the charging is done via micro USB, which some of you may find bothersome, especially if you want to connect the tablet to a dongle, to the TV and other stuff like that. The fact that we have only 8 gigs of storage may be a problem for you, and the fact that some apps won't work, like Chrome, SoundCloud, or apps like that. Of course, that goes in the cons side, not the pros. Okay, so we're going to play a little bit of Riptide GP2 and then give the final grade to this 7.9-inch quad-core slate priced at $240. Taking a while to load, but that's not a problem. As long as the textures are nice and everything looks well, I have no problem with the loading time. I have to remind you that I've tested another Romanian tablet, the Evolio Quadra, also quad-core device, and the device tends to lag this game. Here the lag doesn't seem to be a problem, but my gaming skills are a problem. As you can see, fluid movement. I can't seem to find any lag here. And let's do a trick. Okay, time for the grades of the device. We're going to give it a 9.5 out of 10 for design, and here it loses points because of the volume buttons. We're going to give it a 9.3 out of 10 because we are happy with everything aside from the audio, and we're going to give it a 9 out of 10 for operating system and user interface, and this is because it has issues with certain apps. The final grade is a good one, 9.26 out of 10. Especially the design won us over. It's actually a slim tablet with a comfortable grip, and this has got to be probably the best Romanian sub 10-inch tablet. So if you want a tablet that's less than 10 inches and if you're in Eastern Europe, this one is a pretty decent choice. I have a feeling the price will drop, and it's a quad-core device after all. This is Tablet-News.com, hope you like the review, and this is the Allview Viva Q8, a very interesting quad-core slate with a diagonal similar to the iPad minis. That's it for now, bye bye.